Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Tap In with Tristan. We got another long-lived Amityville edition. This one is going to be a big-time episode. Big-time episode. We got a big-time guest, Mr. Paul Smith.
Hey, hello, everybody. Good to be here. Tristan, thank you for having me on, man. Give me a chance to tell my story a little bit.
Thank you. For those who don't know, this is my dad. So we got father-son situation going on right here.
Yes, sir.
All right, so Dad, let's go back to the early days. What did it look like, in those elementary years in Amityville? What time frame was it, and what that looked like?
Well, first of all, I was born in Youngstown, Ohio.
Okay.
We moved to Amityville when I was 5 years old, and the early years it was just Northeast school, right? Right up the road from me, 10-minute walk to school, and that was it. Just Northeast school.
Yeah, Northeast school. Y'all playing and doing all those type of things. What area did you grow up in, Dad? What street did you grow on? For some of those that didn't know.
Oh, well, I grew up on the Floral Drive, 13th Floral Drive, right around the corner from the block.
Right around
the block was right down the street. I can get to the block in 3-minute walk. And then Northeast school, but yeah, very tough area. And as a kid in the daytime, you see some stuff, but you don't see all of it that goes on. They say like the freaks come out at night. That's when all the problems was happening, but during the day, man, we just had fun. All we had to do was play on our block. We had all the kids our age. We had whatever the season was. We played football. We had a built-in softball field right on the street from Floral Drive, ran right into Coral Drive. It made a natural baseball diamond for us. So we had baseball right there. And then at that time, the MAC wasn't really there. The park wasn't there. We had a park behind the block. We called it the Bummy Park. All it had was big old monkey bars, a swing set, a merry-go-round, some seesaws, and a dirt basketball court that we didn't really play on.
Wow. So y'all cutting y'all teeth right in the area, and there's no video games, none of that stuff.
Nothing
going on. Just out there, just being young and athletic.
Yeah, it's outside from sun up till the sun go down, and then you hear your mama say, "You better be in. Don't leave this street when the sun go down. You better be in calling distance."
That's
it. But we were like you guys. We played in the backyard. We played. Y'all called it Killer Man. We called it whoever get the ball get tackled. It was just like gang up on that guy.
Right.
And then we played in the street. We called it was two-hand touch. Whoever gets the ball get touched. We had our pole to pole, our little football field out there. And basketball wise, I got my basketball skills just from it would be like me, my little brother Mark, Carl Bunn, Chris, his brother, Jeff Calco. It would be like Kevin. It would be like 7 of us in our driveway. My dad had cemented the driveway, and it was like maybe 30 feet long.
Yeah.
And it was like 9 feet wide. And you get the ball at one end, and you had to dribble through everybody to get to the other end.
Yeah. So you
without getting the stuff.
Right there.
Yeah. We just out there playing, having fun, but I'm working on the skill set.
You're working on your skill set and everything like that. So when was like the first time that you can remember being a part of a organized team, and what sport was that?
Oh, well, that was baseball, because we had the Little League, and at 9 years old, it started at 9.
Yeah.
And it finished at 12, and they had leagues, A, B, and C league, with the A league being the top league, and those kids was usually like 11, 12 years old. Yeah. And if your birthday came within that season, 13, but you couldn't play after that. So I started out at 9 years old. I played in C League. I was always on the worst teams, man. We won one game, and it was the one game that we won. It was our last game, and I pitched. I had 13 strikeouts, and we ended up winning. Yeah, and then and how that worked when it was coming up to the season, we would have tryouts. So we would try out at Northwest School. And, all the kids would come up there, and they would be, Little League.
There was tryouts for Little League.
There was tryouts for Little League for a team to go on.
Yeah. So some of those grown men were scouting.
Yeah. And, you out there, you doing your thing, you hitting, you catching, you running. And when I was 10, after my first year in C League, I'm out there trying out. And then, I guess during the course of the week, I get a phone call, and this guy, his name was Buddy. He was a manager of VFW. and VFW was an A-League team. So I played A-League 10, 11, and 12 years old. I played A-League for 3 years. I never played B-League. You know, the A field was over there off of Loudon, and the B-League, the B field was on the other side of Sunrise Highway off of Loudon. And the big thing about that was during opening day, the teams that came in first and second the year before got to play on opening day, man. So I never got that experience. I was always on the bumpy team, except for my last year when we was 12. We came in second place.
That came in second place, so y'all was competitive.
So the following
that's very interesting because I mean that's kind of a lot like my little league story.
Yeah,
he was always not on that. He wasn't on those like big time teams. Yeah. I guess we weren't well connected like that.
Yeah, no, at that team, the team that was well connected was Mo Ford. They had all the best players, man. They had like guys like yeah. Dale Pescatelli. They had got Todd Mazzola. They had the Garone brothers. Oh man, they were stacked.
They were stacked. And, they were the Yankees of the league.
Yeah, we beat them my last year. I beat them. I pitched. We won 5-4. We beat them.
That's a big memory. So now let's cross over to the middle school. What's that look like? Because I know my middle school years, the middle school was tough.
Middle school was very tough.
I can imagine for you guys, because by the time I was getting there, the block was that whole situation was
changed.
Was cleaned up. What was it like for you, and what years was that?
Well, let me see. I was in middle school. Let me see, 6th grade from 68, 68, 68 to 70. Because back then the middle school was 6th, 7th, and 8th and 9th grade.
It went up to 9th grade.
It went up to 9th grade. You know, when you went to school, 9th, 10th, and 11th, and 12th was in the high school. We didn't have that. Yeah. So, man,
so you was in there with 9th graders.
I was in there with 9th graders. But you know, we was kind of separated.
They're gonna have a separate wing for them, I'm sure.
Yeah, we was only on the first floor. We was on we had that one hall, 6th graders was down there, but then 7th, 8th, and 9th, they had to change periods. Yeah. So, and I remember, man, there was fights all the time. All the time. And the thing was fights, if you fought in school, you was getting suspended. Mm-hmm. So the fight, everybody knew that we were going to fight. So you go out the back gate, Smith Street.
Smith Street was Madison Square.
Madison Square Garden. Oh man, and there was one that was like, man, there was a big fight. It was 2 girls. And I ain't gonna call their names, but
yeah, you gotta call their names.
But it was packed house. People was climbing on the fence. People climbing on the fence trying to see this fight. It was a big, and for the most part, we had one guy that was a promoter, man. We had a Don King that he would always get stuff going.
Yeah.
And thinking back how stupid it really was, because somebody could have really, really, really got hurt out there, man.
Sure.
Yeah. But that's the middle school was tough.
That age is a very impressionable age, but
yeah.
I think some things change and some things haven't changed all the way from then to now. And you're finding everybody's trying to find their way through that high school. Yeah. Some get pulled to the streets. So how do you feel like you navigated that? And when did you start getting into these other sports? Because your career, and you're a multi-sport guy, where your name rings out. Yeah,
well, it started in 7th grade. We had intramural football.
Okay.
And Matera was the coach.
Lenny Matera.
Lenny Matera was our intramural football coach. And we had all the old equipment, man. It was like the equipment from the Little Rascals, man. We had little space helmets and everything. We had the leather. It was just rough. But we didn't really compete against anybody. We just pretty much practiced. They gave us some gear, and he took us out there and showed us things and stuff like that there. And that's how the football league started. Football for me. And then 8th grade, you couldn't play football unless you was in 8th grade on the school team. So 8th grade, I tried out for the team. I got on the team, but I don't know what I did. My knee, I did something and I wrenched my knee and it swelled up bad. So I had water on the knee and I had to get it drained. So 8th grade was pretty much a wash for me.
Okay.
And as far as basketball, I made the basketball team 8th grade. So, that was an exciting for me because I didn't really play that much. I was just on the end of the bench.
Really?
But, the 9th grade guys, I didn't really play.
You're in there with 8th and 9th?
Yes.
This is
and then And then when I got in ninth grade, that's when I really kind of showed out. I kind of shined when I got into ninth grade, football and basketball. Our football, we had a really good team.
Name
Our
a
coach
couple
was
of guys, Dad. Name
Mr.
some of the guys
Greenside.
that you play with.
Oh, I played with Greg Wilson was our fullback. We had Nat Dent. We had Norm Alexander. We had Paul Walters. Tom Malibu was our quarterback until he got hurt. Then I had the quarterback the last game. But those are some of the guys that I played with.
Was you going in? What was your expectation? You know what I mean? Because we know that you had an awesome career. Did you anticipate anything, or you just were just having fun?
I was just playing. I wasn't anticipating anything.
Right.
I was just going out there competing and trying to win. Whatever I had to do was to win. That's what I was trying to do.
Now you have now I have a lot of uncles and aunt. How many people are in the household, and you have older one. Did you see them go through, and what was the thought process going into the high school?
Well, I had two brothers older than me.
Yep.
Ronnie was 5 years older than me, so he, I didn't really see a pro. I watched him like when they played. I used to go to the game. We used to go up to the high school. Yeah, yeah, and back then we didn't really watch too much of the game because we
playing around
as kids. Yeah, we was behind the bleachers on the side over there playing Killer Man. Or have to get the ball, get tackled. That's what we were doing. Then when we hear the crowd, we take a look and see what's going on.
Take a look and go,
yeah, that's what we was doing. When Ronnie was playing. Yep. But then when I was in ninth grade, he was in 11th grade, so he was on the football team. So I would go up there and I would watch. In fact, they would come down and watch us when we had home games. After they eat their breakfast and stuff, you got that gap in there, and they would come down and watch us. And then, after that, we would go up there and watch the home games. So, I that's when I started kind of liking it. Yeah. And then, in 10th grade, I didn't play football in 10th grade because, I was kind of skinny and small, and I knew Vic was going to put me on varsity, and I was kind of scared. So
you was a little worried because my frame. I don't know if I can hold up.
Yeah,
who's the head coach at this time, though?
Vic Nemi was the coach. Vic Nemi was our coach, and Mizell was the assistant coach.
No,
Mizell. He was assistant. He was the assistant coach, and so I didn't play that. I played basketball, and I didn't even run track. I just played basketball that year. I didn't do anything but basketball. And then my junior year, I was like, I wasn't scared of nothing. I just went out there, and football season came out 2 days. I was out there,
What changed?
I really don't know, Tristan. I just it was like I could do this. I wasn't, I didn't look at myself as being afraid anymore. And I knew I could play. I was just like, let me just go out here and play. Yep. And that's what I did as far as the football thing. And then basketball, our sophomore year, it was me, Mike Sullivan, and Mark. We were the three sophomores. At first, I started out on JV. I played my first game on JV. We played Roosevelt. And JV, we cooked them. Varsity lost. They had this guy, what was his name? Cunningham was his last name on Roosevelt. This guy was jumping out the gym, man. He was like catching everything. If we was allowed to dunk, he'd have been dunking like crazy.
He was out there dropping it down.
Yeah, he would have been putting on the show.
Yep.
So we lost to him, and after that game, Jack Schmidt, he was our coach then. He pulled me up, and I played, and I started on varsity from then on.
Wow. So you're 11th grade on. You're like one of the premier athletes in Long Island. However, the setup was different than it is current day.
Yeah.
So did you even recognize that? Again, you was just hooping. What's the recruitment look like? What is this? Because it's different time.
Listen, there was no recruit. I'm out there, I'm doing my thing, but I'm not getting no looks. I didn't even know the process of them coming to look. I didn't know nothing about that. So I was, like I said, I was just out there hooping on the court and doing my thing on the football field, and I guess putting up numbers and making stats, but I'm just enjoying the process, having fun, and then when after football season, I move on to basketball season. That's all I was doing. I wasn't expecting that, and really no accolades came after my junior year. I got nothing. I didn't. I think I made all league football, maybe something like that there, but I didn't. Nothing basketball. I didn't make anything basketball. Yeah. And now that I look back, there was guys I think I could have been better than, at least in the league. But
it's a little more political, you know what I'm saying? It was a bit more political, and you had a lot of different things, not the same type of coalitions and stuff going now in the 70s. You're the class of 1975. So you paved the way for us, not just at our school, but in Long Island and all across the nation. So you went from from football to basketball and the track, but you guys don't really have the state titles like we had because they didn't want those.
No, you could. I think my senior year in basketball, what they did, they had, I think what they called was some type of Long Island championship thing or something like that.
Play a Nassau team. That was probably the extent.
Yeah, and I think we lost to Babylon in our playoff game. I think it was the semifinal to go over to play to one game before the Suffolk championship.
Glenn Vickers was on that team?
Glenn Vickers was on that team. Glenn and his brother. Yeah, he was. Yeah. But we had a chance to win that game. I like you say, I fumbled the bag on the free throw line.
You missed the free throws?
Yeah, I missed 2 free throws. That could have put us ahead. I ain't say it would have won the game, but it was like the second overtime. We went 3 overtimes. It was the second overtime. I would have put us ahead with maybe a few seconds, 15 seconds left. And they came down and they got fouled. And they hit one. They hit one, tied it up. We went to a third overtime. And we lost in the third overtime. I was the only starter left on the court at the end of the game.
Everybody fouled out.
Everybody fouled out, and I had 4 fouls.
I can attest to that because that's the same thing what happened in Southampton. I missed a 1-and-1, and it happens in sports.
Yeah,
but you had a great career, and y'all set some school records with track. You know what I mean? I went up and was one of the top teams in the state. Name a couple of your track guys, man. 4x1. That was a team right there.
Yeah, 4x1. We had Mark Holmes leading us off. Mark was the fastest of the 4 of us. He ran a 9.7 at one time, and the guy Waverly Atkins at Riverhead ran a 9.7 the same week. Wow. So this is building up into the counties. Wow. And they would have met in the counties, for some bragging rights. But Mark stumbled in one of the heats, and he didn't place. So that race never happened.
That would have been a big draw right there to watch.
Yeah, it would have been. Yeah, and it was an anticipated race, being that they both ran at the same time in that league in that week, and coming up to the counties. Yep. But he stumbled in one of his heats and he didn't qualify. Yep. But anyway, it was him. He handed off to Greg Todd, to Mike Vollerton, to myself. I was the anchor. And we said, we had a school record. We ran a 43-1 or 43-2, something like that. And then we took second in the States in the 4x2. We ran a 129-3, I think. We lost to New Rochelle up in the States.
That's nothing to be too sad about.
Yeah.
But that's not bad. Especially was there any type of training going on as far as?
No. We got out there. We just practiced. And at one meet, we had an official. He said to us, "If you guys could get your handoff right, you could set all kind of records out here."
Yeah, y'all was raw athletes out there playing all different types of sports. Mm-hmm. and doing very well. So did we play anything else, like moving forward? Did we go on play anything else outside of?
Well, after high school, I had no offers. I didn't. I had all these accolades. I made All-State.
He was All-State. He was an All-State receiver.
Yeah. I made All-State. I made All-American. They sent me this big old thick book like a dictionary, and they had my name in there, All-American.
And
nothing. I don't know if there was something was sabotaged or I don't know. Nothing happened.
Nothing.
So, so I wound up. Roy Brooks, he graduated a year before me, and he was down at Cheney State. So he told me, "Why don't you come on down here?" So I went down there. I went a semester down there. I mean, I got kind of homesick, and I was like, so So when I came back home, and at that time, Jauron was born. Yep. So Jauron was born that summer in '76. So Mr. Bayer, the summer I ran into Mr. Bayer and we was talking.
Right.
You know, for folks who don't know, Mr. Bayer was a math teacher in our school. And he was also the girls basketball coach.
He's
Who got
an
that girls?
all-time.
Yeah, he got the girl team. He got them turned around, and he did really good things with the girls.
Oh yeah,
So,
he's a pillar in the community for sure.
yeah. So he talked to me, asked me what I was doing. I said, I ain't doing nothing. So he gave me a number. He said, I know the coach over at Nassau, Jim Wyman. Go over there and talk to him. So I'd go over there, I talked to him. So now that fall I enrolled in Nassau. So I went over to Nassau Community College, and it turns out that Dale had transferred down from, I think he was going to Albany, and he had transferred down. So we're back, I'm back with my high school quarterback.
That's your high school quarterback. What's the odds of that?
Oh man.
What happened then?
Oh man, big things happened then. He didn't start the first year, but he was on the team. So the second year he started, and man, there was a game where I had 5 catches and 240 yards and 3 touchdowns. We played Baltimore Community College.
That's crazy.
And we was airing it out. I played with some good guys. I played with Kurt Sohn, who went over to Fordham and then went on to the Jets. He played for the Jets a couple of years. So I played with him. He was out of Huntington. Played I forget his first name, but his last name was Coulter. We called him Juice. He went up to Syracuse. He played at Syracuse. Yeah. So I played with some big time guys over there. And Brian Baldinger, who's an announcer now. He's not a man for I played with him. He played tight end for us, but then I think he went on to Wake Forest. I think he played tackle or something like that.
Alignment.
Yeah, I played with him.
That's awesome. So you've been around, and then you had a big time softball career. Yeah. I mean, you. I mean, your name rings out. You talk about athletes. Anybody from that? I'm talking about from like that 65, like 85 era. They always talk about you.
And that all basically comes from the softball, because that CBS and CBS stands for Corner Barbershop. That came from the block because Boozer and James we call him James the Barber. I don't even know his last name, but he owned the barbershop there. On the block, it was the barbershop. Then there was the pool room, and then there was Callaway's Deli. Then there was the Associate, which was a supermarket. And then My Way, a nightclub, People's Drugs, and then there was a luncheonette, which later on became the Chinese spot, Dave's.
That's great.
That was the block. And,
that's the block.
That's the block. And man, just I seen some things on the block that the kids should not be seeing, man. Like I said, we used to go to that park behind it. You got the guys back there, they shooting up, and you go into the bathroom, they get out of here because they want to shoot up they dope in the bathroom. Yeah. So, but for the most part, I never had any problem on the block. But like I said, the nightlife was a different night.
It could quickly change. It could quickly change. And some other people had some problems on that block.
Yeah. As soon as the sun came down, man, that's when all the stuff started.
So you're a legend inside the neighborhood. Then, you're my dad, and you got me, you got Jauron. Everybody is ran. What does that feel like to just, kind of just fall back and watch your kids, do some pretty cool things in town, and then also moving forward?
Well, it was for me. It was exciting to come to watch y'all play. Even Jauron, when he went over to Hofstra and everything, we just go to the games over there. Yeah, we took that trip down to Rhode Island, to Delaware when they was in that playoff game, but they lost. That's exciting to watch. I just wish I could have been more been there for y'all more emotionally. Mm-hmm. Like when you was going through all those things over in when you was at St. John's, I should have been there for you to take that pressure off you so that you can go out there and do your thing. Mm-hmm. But I wasn't recognizing that. So, like you said, I fumbled the bag on that part right there. Mm-hmm. And the same thing with Jauron and with all of y'all pretty much. I fumbled the bag not being there emotionally. I'm there as a provider, but y'all need more than provision. Y'all need an outlet for someone to talk to. And I failed y'all in that way. Like you say, I take ownership to that.
I appreciate you coming through because, hopefully somebody else hears that. You know what I mean? The dad.
Yeah.
was a dad
So yeah.
that could pay it forward. That's part of life, you know what I'm saying? And you gave what you had from, you know what I'm saying, from your experiences growing up. And we've had conversations about this.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you saying this so we can share this with the public, because
Yeah. And I hope somebody does take heed to that. You know, communicate with your kids, man. You know what they're thinking, know what they're feeling. You know, don't just, yeah, how you doing, how's school? Yeah, okay. No, get in depth with them, get heart to heart. You know, that's a big part of that.
It definitely helps, man, just being transparent. And sometimes it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, it is. But it's necessary.
It is.
It's necessary.
It is. It's very necessary. And then within that transparency, there's going to be some growth that comes with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I see you got the Fit Lab shirt on, right?
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about that, man. You're here in Texas, and I mean, without your help, you know what I mean, Fit Lab probably wouldn't be Fit Lab. So I just want to say thank you for that, for you know, the countless hours and all of the different support, whether financially, your time, or your effort, for, you know, kind of getting this off the ground. What's your take on this? Because the sports performance world was non-existent when you were coming up.
Man,
what's your take on it?
Man, everything is like, it's awesome. These kids need to take advantage of this, because growing up, we had none of this stuff. Everything we did was outside on hard concrete, on blacktop, on cement, everything. We didn't have no air conditioning. We out there, you know, we dealing with the elements. If it's cold outside, you just put your coat on, put your gloves on, go play football. Yep. And if it's hot outside, you just take you some water with you and going up to the park. Yep. And these kids, they got air-conditioned places, air-conditioned gyms. They got the Fit Lab where they can come in and get strength training, get rehab training, and get injury prevention. All this stuff. If I had this stuff, no telling what would have happened.
There's no telling, you know? No telling. And we've talked about this a lot. And then also because it's so foreign to you that now you're able to talk the language. You know what I'm saying? You're talking in, but we're educating them about the body and everything like that. But you're getting educated. And I'm constantly trying to get education on it. But it's really cool to kind of just see the transition. Sports. But then also just in the individual when they come and see us. Yeah. And then I've also seen the transformation in you, and just, you know, kind of being a trainer, you know, you're one of the trainers here. So I'm learning from the best. Learning from the best, man. Thank you. Yeah. And it's taken me to humble myself in order to give the kids what they need. And I just want to say thank you for being a part of, you know what I'm saying, really being an extension of what we're doing here. Let's talk about this you're welcome. Alumni event. So how you feel about this alumni event, that you are going to be the most experienced participant for being the class of 1975, well, from your perspective? I'm excited about that. I might be the most experienced, but I can tell you I'm not going to be the best one out there. I just want to do my part. I want to get up and down the court, and not get injured, and contribute in the best way I know how. You know, and I'm excited about this, and you know, I'm gonna be ready. Yeah, I'm going to be ready. I'm not going to say I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, but I'm gonna be ready. Yeah, I think there's a lot of branches to this tree. You know, not only just the competitive basketball aspect, but just seeing a collection of guys. It's going to, you know, it's going to be Black guys from different time periods, a 45-year span, come together as something positive, and we're going to be there. I think that's beautiful. And then we're going to have all of our community share that with us. And I think that's the big part, that bringing the community back together. You know, I guess with everybody branching out, there's so much stuff going on with, you know, in the world now. It's good to have something positive for everybody to connect to. And I think what you're doing with live Amityville Live and with your trash talk is really, really great. And, you know, I don't chime in, but I see a lot that's going on out there, man. And it's exciting, and it's good positive talk, you know, and it gives an outlet for people. I agree. It gives us an outlet. It gives us the opportunity to know another person if you choose to. And then it also gives us opportunity to network with another person if you choose to. And like you said, it's something that's consistently positive where there's a lot of stuff that's tearing down. So yeah, I agree with you. And I'm excited about it too.
Yeah, I really am. And it's gonna be good that I haven't been back home. It's been a while. It's gonna be good to just get back home and see. I know a lot has changed over there. Just to see the people that that I left behind.
Yeah. So again, it's an opportunity for us to build. And yeah, it's going to be some different things. We're going to probably meet a couple of people that we haven't really built with. But I think that's the beauty of it. You know what I'm saying? We should come out better. And we should come out with some more networking and some new friends and allies. So I'm excited about that part too.
Yeah. And I hope the people on the other side are feeling the same way. I don't, like you said, everybody can't get picked to play in this game. And I'm sorry that everybody couldn't get picked because it would be too big. But maybe down the road, who said this has to be the last one? Maybe it could be a tradition. Who knows?
It very well could be. And that's the toughest part of facilitating something like this is that you can't include everybody in every category. You feel me?
Right.
So we try to do our best to highlight and celebrate everybody within reason. You know what I mean? It's a one-day event, so we can't have 100 basketball players playing.
No, you can't. You can't. And you did the best you could by even having the Legends role. You're trying to recognize as many as you possibly can. And I think that's even great.
Absolutely. What's your favorite Amityville sports moment, Dad? Give it to us.
My favorite. I think it would have to be when there was a time when we were running track. We was at the Meet of Champions in CW Post. I think I told you the story, and we were running the 4x1. And I got the baton, and the guy had like maybe a 15 or 20-yard lead on me.
That's a nice lead.
Yeah, so and I only got 110 yards to catch him.
Yeah.
So I caught him on the bank, and I took the lead over him on the straightaway, and we came out on top. And they gave us watches. We want watches for that. It's called the Meet of Champions. I think that was my best sports moment.
You walking a dude down. When you walk a dude down, man, that's something special about that moment. You know what I mean?
I remember it said Uniondale. He was from Uniondale.
He was from Uniondale. So I mean, Uniondale produced some fast guys. So walking a dude down, that means something.
Yeah.
And then you got to watch for it.
I got to watch.
That's dope. That's dope. What's your favorite? What's your favorite few moments as a parent?
Wow, just watching y'all play, man. Them years when you went upstate, and just watching Jauron. There was a game when he was in high school, and he was pitching. He didn't know I was watching. He was in Babylon, and I was like way up on the hill watching him.
Watching it from deep.
Yeah, he was pitching them. He pitched a monster game, man. So that, and and watching P. Yeah. And he talked about on his thing about that play where he dove on the he really did. On the blacktop at the MAC. He dove and he saved the ball. And it kind of saved the game for us because if the ball goes out of bounds, they have a chance to go and take the lead as time is running out. So he saved the ball for us, and we were able to run out the clock on that play. So that was a big play. Yeah. Like I said, my biggest moment was watching y'all play.
Yeah, that's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? That's beautiful. And thank you for sharing that. I think that's one of the cool elements about us is that not only did I hear your whole career growing up, I got compared to you a lot. Who's the better athlete, Tristan or Paul? That's what I got a lot of.
Yeah.
It's a split thing. And I think that's pretty cool for that to even be a conversation. I don't know. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? We don't care that much about it. We don't find our identity in that anymore. But I just think that's cool that you have, you know what I'm saying, you created that legacy and you paid it forward to Jauron, myself, and P. You know what I'm saying? And so it's really cool that now we're grown men, we can sit and talk about it. And
Yeah.
I want to bring it almost to a stage where we can share with everybody at this event.
Yeah, and that's what I like about this. What you're doing with this here, with these interviews, these conversations. Yeah, it's really cool because you can share that with people. Could come on here and tell their story. You know, because for me, I never shared any of this with anybody ever. But for me to be able to do it and everybody to see it, I feel it's great. It's really good.
I appreciate it. I mean, we could talk for hours and hours. We got a lot of stories that we've talked to about in the past. Name 3 guys that were really, really big time that may not get the same amount of love that they should from Amityville. That's from your town. I mean, from your era. Tell me
my era. Well, one for sure would be Mike Volatin.
Mike Volatin.
Yeah, that was he. You know how P and AJ ran?
Yeah.
And Mike Volatin ran. That was my
guy right there.
Yeah, that's my guy. Him. Let me see.
Give me some names. What about Jody Walton?
Jody got recognized.
He got recognized, but a while back though, we bring it.
Okay. Well,
Jody was back then.
But Jody would definitely have to be one, man. And who will be another one? Probably Mark Jenkins that I hooped with.
He's big time.
Yeah. He went to hospital. Right? Yeah, he went. Yeah, he played overseas.
He played at Hofstra and overseas. Yeah. I don't think a lot of young guys know who that guy is.
Yeah, that was my center. That was my guy right there too. We ran. We played
with a lot of talent. Amityville has produced a lot of talent. No recruitment, you know what I'm saying?
No recruitment.
Raw dog out there hooping in the street, playing in the street. I had to block and all of those things that I had to really, really deal with, and all of that pressure cooker. And as a grown, distinguished man, I thank you, Dad. Thanks for being part of my life. Thank you for, you know what I'm saying, blazing the trail for all the Amityville athletes.
Like I said, I was just playing. I didn't know a trail was being blazed, but I'm glad I was able to.
That's the cool part. Your name still rings out, and then I think it's beautiful that you're even still able to participate in something like this by keeping yourself in good enough shape to do so. Yeah. So thank you for setting that example for us.
Yeah, well, you got a gym, man. How would I look if you got a gym and I ain't in shape?
Yes. You got a gym, so you got to take advantage, and you have.
Got to take advantage. So, and I like doing it. So that's the thing. I like doing it.
Yeah, you. It's something that I think it's fair to say is keeping you young. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It is fair to say.
It's something that's keeping you young, because it's something that's always something positive. We always got a new wave of kids that are coming in. We always got exercises. Yeah, something that's fresh all the time. So I'm thankful. It hasn't been easy. It's never easy. It's never easy. Not easy, but it's been very, very well rewarding for us. And I couldn't have did it without you. So love you, man. I thank you.
I love you too, Tristan. And I'm proud of what you've done, what you're doing with that thing, man. Because 2 years in, a lot of businesses fold, and you've been going strong for going on 5 years now. So even through this pandemic, you was able to keep it going. So I'm proud of what you're doing, and I love you for that too.
Thank you, Dad. So I mean, we can continue to talk and talk. So we're gonna put a pin in it, and maybe we'll have a part 2 and everything like that. So thank you again for your time. All right. And much love. Until next time. I love you, Dad.
All right. I love you too. Peace out.
Peace.